Welcome back everyone to another episode of Minecraft Better Than Adventure. Last episode did amazingly well and I can't thank you all enough. It got over 300 views and plenty of comments and you all interacted well. You left me plenty of questions. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and watch my Foundations episode. It's the video right before this one. I put 7, almost 8 hours of effort into that video, so it would be very much appreciated. Oh, and also 3 weeks of mining an entire chunk down to bedrock, so please go watch that episode if you haven't yet. It's amazing. With that all being said, let's get right into the sign garden. First up is Landon Weaver, then we have Quadrilage, Snail Badnick Enjoyer, Crit Hall, Big Mac Burger, The Desolator, Mateo Lion SK, Cole Buster, Snowman 64, Cal Shay, and finally a random Lexi. A massive thank you to these 11 people for watching until the end of last episode. You guys are amazing and I really can't thank you all enough. Today we are going to be building a food truck. This was suggested last episode by Big Mac Burger. They suggested I build a burger truck, but I figured it'd be better to just keep it more vague and build a food truck, because if I built a burger truck, I'd have to like specify it, and you'll see in a bit why I really can't do that. I am going to be building this food truck near the restaurant we built in episode 32 over here. You can see I already have the tires laid out using obsidian, the same block I used for the tires on the buses in the previous episode. I'm sort of experimenting with getting better at building these car builds, kind of like how I got better at building boats or how I got better at building pixel art. So yeah, I wanted to do another car build. So I figured the food truck suggestion that Big Mac Burger left me last episode was great. I have all of the materials I'll need for this build over here. This is actually a very simple build. There's not a lot to it, so I'll be starting on it very quickly. Well, looks like it's poor timing. It's actually getting dark, so I have to go ahead and walk over to the lighthouse over here behind this tree to sleep. As I go and walk over the lighthouse to sleep, you guys left me a lot of questions as mentioned in the intro, so I figured I'd answer the first one right now. It was left in the comments by Landon Weaver, and they asked, will you ever start a hardcore world? That is a great question, Landon. So hardcore is a bit of it's a hard topic for me. I think there's a lot of oversaturation of hardcore on YouTube, but I also think it does add a bit of a twist to survival that can make it more fun. I'm already doing this single player world, so I'm not exactly sure about the hardcore world idea. However, if I were to start a hardcore world, it might be on Bedrock. Since Mojang is now adding hardcore to Bedrock Edition, if I were to start a hardcore world, it would likely be on Bedrock Edition, just to be a little different. I've done hardcore related sort of series before, like my Last Life charity event series. If you haven't seen that yet, I really suggest checking it out. It was some of the most fun I've had in Minecraft. In that series, it was sort of like the Last Life premise, but we all had the Origins mod enabled, so it was a bit more of a twist. And Last Life is kind of the closest I've done to hardcore. Okay, so I'm going to start by getting the entire base of this build done. Hopefully, I have enough stone slabs. If I don't, I can always get more, but if I did my math correctly, and I know how to calculate the area of a rectangle, I should have enough. Yep, there we go. I ended up having enough. Now on to the next most important part, and this is the marble. I haven't really used marble a lot in my builds. I used it for the roof of this build, and I used it for the paddles on the Steamboat Willie build. So I figured I'd try to use marble more again here, just because I don't use it very often. Something like this. And then I transition it into limestone, like so. There we go. You can kind of see the contrast I have in the front of the truck versus the rest of it. This is my own design. I kind of just finished around until I got something that looked like and was recognizable as a decent food truck. I mean, I did use some reference photos, but I kind of like mixed them all together. This side of the truck is almost completely empty, so this is just kind of fair game for me to just go like this on. I might actually not have enough limestone. I should hopefully have enough at least for that. Glowstone goes 1 2 1 2 to light up the truck like so. And you'll see in a moment how I cover up the... Yep, I did not have enough limestone. I guess as I go and I walk over to the base to grab some more limestone, I should answer another question you guys left me. And this was from Snail Badnick Enjoyer. And they asked, do you have any hobbies outside of making videos and watching anime? Also, are there any you want to get into? So, great question. One of my big hobbies is like tinkering with tech. Recently, one of my friends came over and we tried to fix his Oculus. It seemed to be a software issue, and unfortunately, I think it's bricked, but I was planning on tearing it open since I know how to open up an Oculus. I just didn't have the screwdriver for it. But I have opened up a bunch of devices in the past. I've repaired several of my laptops and then sold them. I used to have a bunch of old laptops lying around that broke. Some of them had like Windows blue screen errors. Other ones had like broken screens, and I fixed them for very cheap and then was able to sell them off for decent profits. And that's part of the reasons I have the computer I have now. So yeah, tech tinkering is definitely a big hobby of mine. As for like a hobby I'd like to get into, that is a good question. Like a hobby I'd like to get into, maybe art or digital art at least. I took a digital art class in freshman year, and I mean, it helped me learn a lot from my use of Photoshop, but I didn't get to do much. One of my favorite projects in my digital art class when I was in freshman year was when I made a monochromatic landscape painting based on a photo I took off online, and I'd love to do more stuff like that again. It was really fun using a stylus to like draw on windows using Photoshop. It felt really fun and cool and professional. So yeah, maybe digital art is a hobby I'd like to get into. And it seems as soon as we walked over here, the sun is setting, so we need to turn around and go back to the lighthouse. Yay! Just a reminder that if you have any questions you'd like me to answer in the next episode, leave them in the comments down below and I will surely answer them. A question that I have for you guys is, would you like me to give you any tips? I know a lot of the people watching my videos are aspiring content creators, or at least people who just enjoy and want to make content of their own. And I know I'm not really one to talk here since I don't have a lot of success, but I do have a lot of experience with YouTube. I've tried a lot of different niches, a lot of different editing styles. I've tried to mimic different people, and I feel like I've gotten decently good at commentary now thanks to this series. So if you guys have like any tips you'd like me to give, go ahead and like ask away. Speaking of tips, if you guys have any build suggestions for next episode, please leave them. I always love build suggestions, so at least so we can finish this off right here without needing to go upwards. So then what I'm going to need is this, and it goes like this. There we go. This is going to add a lot to the look of it being a truck. I'm sure you can kind of see it now. It kind of looks like a truck. And I wanted to use the glass trap doors again since I don't use them very often anymore. And I felt like this could give more space in the driver's side. The one thing about building with like stone and limestone and stuff like that in an old world like this is, you know, since I don't have a lot of gold, I can't make gold tools for the silk touch quality, which means whenever I misplace a block, well, I have to go smelt it again to get it back. And I've been using a lot of the stone variants recently in my builds, so it has gotten a little frustrating at times, I have to admit. There we go. That's the glass of the truck done. It looks kind of like that. And you can kind of see we already have most of the truck finished. There is just one thing that I'd like to do, and I'm going to need to come up here to build this. So I mentioned earlier why I didn't just go with calling this a burger truck, and you'll see why in a second once I build this. Sorry to betray you like this, Big Mac burger, but I could not for the life of me figure out how to build a mini burger on top of a food truck. So I went with a hot dog. A hot dog is a burger, right? But yeah, that is what really makes this recognizable as a food truck and not like a drug vendor or something. You got the hot dog at the top, you know? So that's why I decided to call this a food truck and not a burger truck. I guess I should go on to answer the next question I was left in the comments last episode, and that was from Crit Hall. What the heck was that sheep just doing to me? Hey, I don't think you're allowed to do that. Look at me in the eyes when I talk to you. Hey, it's like he's avoiding my eye contact. Hey, oh, there we go. I just wanted eye contact before I killed him. Anyways, Crit Hall left a question in the last episode asking, are you excited for any other games other than the Indiana Jones one that I mentioned last episode? Yes, of course. Honestly, I can't name any off the top of my head, but there are other games I look forward to. Do I ever make the time to play them? That's a different question. I have a very big Steam library of games that I have not yet played just because I buy them in bundles. Okay, so I'm gonna add the iron door here, and then this goes... Actually, before I do that, I should probably add this. There we go. The glass. And then this is where you would buy your food. It's a little tall. So like if you're a short person like me, you have to like look up towards the person. Like, I'd like to order blank, you know, because it's a little tall, but it kind of still works. And then we have these guys, if I can get it to place. There we go, like that. And then on the same, on this side over here. There we go. Then, before it gets completely dark, I can actually get the awning done as well, which is made of iron trap doors. These iron trap doors in my recent builds have been very expensive, so I'm probably gonna need to do another mining session, which I haven't done in a while. Oh well, I should take a break there and go to sleep before the mobs start spawning. As I go to sleep, I should answer yet another question you guys left me in the comments below. This one was from none other than Big Mac Burger, and they asked, do you do your editing on your own? Yes, I do. I edit all by myself, and I always have been. I wouldn't say I'm like a pro at editing, but I do have my style of editing down, and I could record and edit a video in about an hour, like total, for the recording and editing at this point. My videos have improved a lot in quality since I started using CapCut. I use CapCut Desktop for my editing. Originally, I was using a software called Shotcut, which I used for 3 years, and it was very basic, but I did learn a lot just from editing. I learned about J-cuts. I've learned about cutting all of the different uhs and ums and stuff like that from your video just to keep your more cohesive commentary. I've learned about like cutting deep breaths and having less pauses in between your sentences. All of that just kind of keeps the video flowing and keeps it more viewable. But yeah, I do all of the editing myself. Another question that Big Mac Burger asked was, what is your upload schedule? I already answered them, but I figured I'd answer again here for anyone who's wondering. I try to upload every Monday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's the time zone of California. And if I'm not able to upload on Monday, then it will be Tuesday at the same time. So Monday/Tuesday is when I upload my Better Than Adventure episodes, and hopefully Friday/Saturday is when I'll be uploading my Foundations SMP videos. I have other collaborations and other videos planned though, so that might put a wrench into my schedule a little bit. Okay, well now I want to do the inside, but in order to do the inside, I actually need to get the buttons out so that we can open this and put another button over here so that I can open it in here as well. I'm going to have, this is the like dashboard of the driver. Here's his seat, almost like a racing sim sort of thing. And then I'm going to be, nope. Oh, see how that like messes it up. Like this. There we go. I'd have it pulled that way. And finally, and that is the wheel. That way we have a full view of the driver's seat from outside like this. And it actually looks really good. The indoors in here is actually going to be a little bit more complicated. First, what I want to do is just place the black wooden fences that I have right now. And you'll see in a moment why that is. It just kind of adds to the story of this build. You're kidding me. This is the worst thing for me to walk out to. If you don't know, snow and rain are my arch enemies. I hate it. The snow and rain in Minecraft just doesn't look good most of the time. It's annoying and it covers the ground in snow. Now my build just isn't gonna look as good and I have to wait for the snow to clear to get my thumbnail photo. I hate snow and rain in Minecraft and I wish there was a way to just get rid of it easily on beta, but there isn't. I just have to wait through it. As I go and get some cobblestone, I guess I should answer the last question last episode, and that was from Sasquatch, and he asked, what is the weirdest question you have ever been asked? See, now, that's a good question. Off the top of my head, it would probably be the questions that Patchy MC have left me. He's very funny. As I head back, I guess I wanted to ask you guys a question, and since it's episode 40, I figured it'd be a good time to ask, what is your favorite build so far? I know a lot of you have watched a lot of my episodes, so I'm just kind of curious what you think your favorite build in my world is. I've built a lot of stuff. I mean, we have a modern house, we have skyscrapers with a little bridge between them, you know, schoolhouse, clock tower, a bungalow, pixel art, a railway that goes all around my world, a couple of buses, we've got a church, I mean, we've got a pantheon over there, Mario's house. There's so many builds. I think for episode 50, I'm going to check out my statistics. I'm going to wait until then to check them out. So hopefully we can look forward to episode 50. I'm also thinking for episode 50, I want to let out a world download. And there we go. That is the inside of the food truck finished. Now I want to do some final touches to the outside, like what we did with the buses. These ladders are supposed to be like grills on a truck, and then here is the bumper slash license plate, and then over here we can do the same thing in the back. So now that we have all of that, I'm still not finished. There's still a couple of things I'd like to do. I wanted to build a couple of tables outside of the truck. There's one table. I kind of just wanted to spread them throughout in a sort of uneven pattern to look like they were just set up here. And there we go. I've got some tables laid out all around. Now I wanted to get a sort of line lined up. And that's going to be it for this video. If you made it this far into the video, comment trucker, because last episode I had you comment driver, and as if it's perfect timing, it just stopped snowing. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye. Make sure to go check out Foundations.